Morning, students. How are you all? Hope you are taking good care of your health. So you are watching the videos of different subjects. Yes? So are you getting something? Are you getting information about different subjects? Okay. So now you on the daily basis you are getting different videos of different subjects. So just go through those subject video and just understand. And then if you have any query regarding it, you can just ask us. So as you all know that I teach you social science and I have already given you the video for chapter 1. We have already discussed chapter 1 of history. So just go through those videos, just understand that chapter, and if you have any query regarding chapter number 1 of history, then you can just ask me. So now today we will start with our new chapter of social science, subject history, chapter number 2. Today we will start with a new chapter of history, chapter number 2, name From Hunting, Gathering to Growing Food. So we have already discussed about chapter number 1. Now from today we will start with our new chapter, chapter number 2, From Hunting, Gathering to Growing Food. Now there is one incidence. There was one incidence with one boy. What was this in that incident? I will just share with you. There was a boy named Tushar, and Tushar was going from Delhi to Chennai for his cousin's wedding. So Tushar was going from Delhi to Chennai for his cousin's wedding. They were traveling by train. So how they were going to Chennai? They were going to Chennai by train, and he had managed to squeeze into the window seat, his nose glued to the glass pane. So he was sitting nearby the window seat. As you all know that when we travel with train, we travel with bus, or we travel with aeroplane, we all also want to sit nearby the window seat so that we can look outside from the window seat what is there. So that is an excitement when anyone goes from one place to another. Everyone wants to see that what all comes in the way of that place. So just like that, Tushar also managed to squeeze into the window seat so that he can look what is outside the window. As he watched trees and houses fly past, his uncle tapped his shoulders and said, "Do you know that trains were first used about 150 years ago, and that people began using buses a few decades later?" So his uncle tapped him, his soldier, and told that you know that the train first were used how many years ago? It was 150 years ago, and the people began using the buses for moving from one place to another only few decades later. Only very recently they have started to go from one place to another with the help of buses. Tushar wondered, when people could not travel quickly from one place to another, did they spend their entire lives wherever they were born? So Tushar wondered. He 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 again think about that. He wondered that when people were not able to go very quickly from one place to another, were they spending entire their life in the place where they were born? They were not going from one place to another and only living at the place where they were born. Not quite. So these all questions arise in the mind of Tushar, and which is being explained with the help of some past happenings. It is being explained how people were traveling from one place to another and why they were traveling from one place to another. What was the reason in earliest people, earlier time, how they were moving from one place to another and what they were doing? So the earliest people, why were they on the move? The earliest people, why were they on the move? So we are talking about the earliest people, that why they were on the move, why they were moving from one place to another, what was the reason behind that, that they were moving from one place to another, why they were not staying at the place where they were born, why they were not staying on the same place where the whole family was there. What was the reason why the people were moving from one place to another? We know about people who lived in the subcontinent as early as 2 million years ago. As in the first chapter also, we have studied that the people were living in the subcontinent of South Asia as early as 2 million years ago. So these people were living in the subcontinent as early as 2 million years ago. Today we describe there as hunter gatherer. So now today we what we say them, hunter gatherers, those people who were living in the subcontinent for early as 2 million years ago. The name comes from the way in which they got their food. So from where hunter gatherer came, the name why it was given to these people, hunter gatherer. This name hunter gatherer was given to these people because the way they gathered their food, the way they got their food, that was the reason they were called as hunter gatherer. Generally they hunted wild animals, caught fish and birds, gathered fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, stalk, and eggs. What is stalk? Stalk is a very thin, a thin thing on which the fruits and the plants grow. So it is just like a stem, and on which the fruits and leaves grow. So generally, why this hunter-gatherer name was given to these people? Hunter-gatherer names was given to these people because they were the way they were gathering their food, the way they were hunting the animals for their food. So these people were known as hunter-gatherer. They were gathering their food with the help of fish, cutting fish, birds, gathering fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, and then they were making their food and they were eating these all things. The earliest people, why were they on the move? Hunter gatherers moved from place to place. Hunter gatherers were moving place to place. They were moving from one part of the subcontinent to the other part of the subcontinent for in search of food. So why? What were the reason? Now we will study that. What were the reason they were moving from one place to another? There are many reasons for this. First reason is, if they had stayed at one place for a long time, they would have eaten up all the available plants and animal resources. Therefore, they would have had to go elsewhere in search of food. So, the first reason why the hunter gatherer moved from one place to another was, if they will be living in only one place, all the fruits and vegetables which were planted nearby their area would be eaten by them, and there will be a shortage of plants and animals, there will be a shortage of food. So therefore they moved from one place to another so that they can go to other place and then they can have a available resources of animals and plants. Second reason why they move from one place to another, animals move place to place. As you all know that they were hunter, they were hunting the animals, they were cutting the fishes and the birds, they were eating them. So animals move play from place to place, as we all know that either in search of small prey or in the case of deer and wild cattle in search of grass and leaves. So all the small animals, the prey, all those deers and the small animals, they were all having the food as they eat grass and leaves. all the animals which are small animals which eats the grass and leaves. They go from one place to another in search of their food. In search of their food, the animals which eat the other animals, they also move from one place to another in search of their prey. There, so the as the animals were moving from one place to another in search of their food, and these hunter gatherers were eating those animals, and hunting those animals and then eating those animals. So these hunter gatherers were also moving according to the movements of the animal. That is why those hunter them had to follow their movements. Whose movement they have to follow? They have to follow the movements of the animals which they were hunting, which they were eating, for the which they were hunting for their food purpose. Now the third reason why the people hunter gatherers were moving from one place, the third reason is plants and trees bear fruits in different seasons. So the third reason they were moving, because see, there are so many seasons in a year. We have winter, we have summer, we have spring, we have autumn. So different plants give their fruits and flowers in different seasons. So so they have so the hunter gatherers have to move from one place to another in search of their food, in search of those plants, fruits, and flowers in which in that season they were growing. Suppose hunter gatherers are living in the winter season in some place. Now in winter, only on those places only the plants and trees give fruits and leaves on in winters only. In summers they shut down. So what happens in summers? Those hunter gatherers move to the places where in summer plants were giving the fruits and vegetable, because the main purpose of hunter gatherers were to arrange the food, to gather the food. And for gathering the food they have to move according to the situation, according to the condition where they can have the food, where they can gather the food. So the third reason was plants and trees bear fruits in different seasons. So people may have moved from season to season in search of different kinds of plants. So they have to move season to season in search of different kinds of plants. Fourth reason was people, plants and animals need water to survive. So as you all know that everyone needs water to survive. We need air to survive. We need water to survive. So as people, plants, and animals need water to survive, water is found in lakes, streams, rivers, ponds. So, while many rivers and lakes are perennial, you all know the meaning of perennial rivers? Yes, we have studied in class 4th and 5th. Yes, what is perennial rivers? Can anyone tell me? Yes, while many rivers and lakes are perennial. Perennial means with water throughout the year. The rivers which are having water throughout the year. There is no seasonal constant over that. Whether there is summer, whether there is winter, whether there is spring, every time throughout the year you will find water in those rivers. They are known as perennial river. So while many rivers and lakes are perennial, others are seasonal. So some are seasonal rivers. The seasonal rivers are that according to the season they have water in them. So in summers, some of the rivers get, yes, some of the reason rivers does not have water. The water is not there in those rivers. And in the winter or in the monsoon season, the water is there in those rivers. So that are seasonal rivers. And the perennial rivers are every time throughout the year you will find water in those rivers. So according to the seasonal and perennial rivers, the plants and the animals move here and there. So according to that only, the people, the hunter gatherers also move from one place to Another, people living on their bank would have had to go in search of water during the dry season, winter and summer. So, people who were living nearby the bank of these rivers have to move from one place to another in search of water, because without water, no plants will grow, without water, no animal will be surviving, and without water, no person can live. So, if the people who are living nearby the seasonal river, on the bank of seasonal river, they have to move from one place to another where perennial rivers are there, where they can find the food, where they can find the plants, where they can find the animals, and they can survive themselves also. So that was the reason they were moving from one place to another also. Now we will talk about how do we know about these people. That all these we have discussed, that the people were moving from one place to another, and we have already studied the reasons why they were moving from one place to another. What were the reasons? Now we will study that how do we know about these people. H- From where we will come to know about these people. Archaeologists have found some of the things hunter gatherer made and used. So, who are archaeologists? Archaeologists are the people who do research, who do study over the past things, and on the basis of some past situations, on the basis of some past recoveries, they come to know. They tell us that what was in the past, how what kind of clothes they were wearing in past, what were the past things, past tools, how they were eating, how they were using the houses. All these researches are being done, were done by the archaeologist. So archaeologists are the people who are discovering about the past. Now, archaeologists have found some of the things hunter gatherers made and used. So, archaeologists found some of the things which at that time when hunter gatherers were there, they made and used. What were those things which hunter gatherers made and used? It is likely that people made and used tools of stones, wood, and bone, of which stone tools have survived best. So, at that time, hunter-gatherers were making tools for their daily purposes. They were making the tools of stones. They were making the tools of wood with the help of wood. They were making the tools. They were making the tools with the help of bones of the dead animals, and from among all these, the stone tools, the wood tools, and the bone tools, the most surviving tools were the stone tools. Only the tools were left. On the basis of the study of those stone tools, archaeologists found that there was hunter gatherers, and hunter gatherers were using these tools for their different purposes of their daily use work. And we will study further what were they using these stone tools for, what purpose. Some of these stone tools were used to cut meats. So what were they doing with the stone tools? They were cutting the they were using that stone tools to cut meat, bones, scrap barks from trees, so scrapping the barks from the trees, and hide animal skins, chop fruits and roots. So they were also chopping fruits, roots with the help of stone tools. Some may have been attached to handles of bones. So what they were doing with the stone tools, they were attaching them with the handles of bones, and with the help of those, they were making the tools so that they can cut something. They can with the help of the handles of bones, and then they were attaching the stone tools to that they were making a hammer kind of thing, so that they can they can use those tools in different hunting purposes, to make spears and arrows for hunting. So what they were making from that, they were making a spears and arrows for hunting with the help of stone tools and the handles of bones or wood. Other tools were used to chop woods, which was used as firewoods. So other tools were also used to chop wood. They were using the tools for chopping the wood, which was used as firewood. Wood was also used to make hunts and tools. So wood was also used to make hunts and tools. Now you will just see the pictures in this slide. How do we know about these people? So there are some different stereotypes, how we can you know about the people, as we have studied in earlier slide also. This is a picture which I have quoted, which I have placed here just to make you clear that how at that time hunter gatherers were using the stone tools and what was the purpose for making the stone tools. On the left hand side, if you see, there is a picture, a stone tool is there, and there is a a root. So on the left hand side, if you see, there is a picture which is showing you that the stone tools may also have been used for digging the ground to collect edible roots. So on the left hand side, the picture shows that this stone tool is being used to dig the ground and collect the edible roots. On the right hand side, if you see the picture, there is a stone tool which is used to stitch the clothes made out of animal skin. So they were wearing the clothes, and the clothes of earlier man was, they were hunting the animal, and with the skin of the animals they were making preparing their clothes. And how they were preparing their clothes? With the help of stone tools. They were having stone tools, and they were helping, those stone tools were helping them to stitch the animal skin and making the clothes for them. Now we will study further that choosing a place to live in, how they were choosing a place to live in. We have already discussed that the people were moving from one place to another, from one part of the subcontinent to the other part of the subcontinent. Now we will study that what were the reasons or we can say what were the conditions for they were choosing a place to live. What were the parameters on which they were choosing a place to live? So look at the map below. There is a map which is shown below in this slide. Look at that. All the places marked with red triangles are sites from which archaeologists have found evidence of hunter gatherers. Hunter gatherers lived in many more places, only some are shown on the map. So in this slide, in this map only, with the help of arrows, I have shown you that there are some archaeologist sites from where the archaeologists found some evidence of hunter gatherers. For some evidence, like they found stone tools, they found the wood tools, they found the animal skin clothes. So that kind of things, they found the evidence where the hunter gatherers were living, and with those evidence they were able to know that there were some people who were living, who were hunting, who were gathering the foods like this, who were making the tools of the stone. And these all evidence were found by the archaeologist on some sites, on some places. Those are called as sites. And what are those sites? The On the left hand side you can see Hansgi. There is a site named Hansgi, and on the right hand side you can see with the help of arrow, that is a site named Kurnal Caves. In the Kurnal Caves also they found some evidence of hunter gatherers. Many sites were located, and these are only some of the sites. There are many more sites which you can find out at the where the hunter gatherers were, the evidence of hunter gatherers were found. Many sites were located near source of water such as river and lakes. So many of the evidence and the sites were located near the source of water such as river and lakes. As stone tools were important, people tried to find places where good quality stones was easily available. So as stone tools were important for those people, so people were trying to find the places to live where the good quality stones were easily available, so that they can make the tools with them and they can use those stones tools for their different purpose. So the people, when they were choosing any place to live, they were just seeing that the places should have a good quality stones, so that they can prepare the tools with the help of those stones. Now, we have already discussed that how where did the we have discussed choosing a place, how do the people choose a place to live. We have already discussed how do people know about these people. We have also discussed why the earliest people, where were they on the move, why were they on the move. So we have discussed in these slides the 3 points. The earliest people, why were they on the move? Second, we discussed how do we know about these peoples? How can we know that these peoples were there? How were they were doing what things? So And we have already discussed that how these people choose a place to live. Now there is a home activity for all of you. There is a home activity for all of you. You have to just see these slides, you have to just understand the topics, you have to just see what is there in these slides, in this topic, chapter 2. And what you have to do at home, you have to do on the map of India, mark the sites from which archaeologists have found evidence of hunter gatherers. So already I have mentioned, I have shown you two sites, Hanski and Kurnaul. Now you have to find many more sites which are there, which the archaeologists have found with the evidence of hunter gatherers. So with the help of Google, you can find out the places of on the map of India where the archaeologist sites are there, where they found the evidence of hunter gatherers. Thank you and have a nice day.